Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Short, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the post, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it through to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us from our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Chi, that's CHI. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I tried to do. I tried to make it nice and easy, keep it all one handle, but damn hackers got me. So on Facebook, I am at Shawn.Sierra2025. On Twitter, X, I am at ShawnSierra33. But on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, I'm at the Shawn Sierra. Listen, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching this on, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let me check the chat, because the chat is jumping already. Cornelius Squall checking in early. At the top of the morning, Shawn, the sports owners. Fly the W. Don't start with your nonsense, Cornelius. Shorty is in the house. It's top of the morning to you. How you doing, man? Thank you for tuning in, Mr. Shorty. I appreciate you. My man, Rick Gonzalez, is in the house. It's Hola, amigo. FGB, what? FGB, what? FGB, what? And as always, F visiting Wisconsin. Hashtag unless you're going to get weed. Then it's okay. Shorty, those damn hackers, I'm telling you, boy. I'm telling you. You know it. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. Listen, we got a great show for you. We're getting started at the bottom of the hour. My man, Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com is going to come on and join us. The Cubs are white hot. They are white hot. Wow. We're going to talk about them. Are they going to lose anytime soon? Are they going to lose before the Crosstown Classic next weekend? 1 week from today, we will find out with Evan Altman at 9:30. At 10 o'clock, my man Lorin Cox from the Locked On Bears podcast is going to join us. Rookie minicamp starts today. Does he have any high expectations? Is he anxious to see if any specific players? Lorin Cox at 10 o'clock here on Sports Zone Chicago. Oh, man, the Plankster has checked in. What is up, Papa? Says happy morning. Happy Friday morning, Shawn. Bears fan, brother Cornelius, Shorty, Rick, FGB. Bear down. It's always FGB, man. Always. Always FGB. Whew. Listen. And I'm sure we're going to have some ladies checking in a little bit. Maybe Patty, maybe Monica, maybe Levette. Okay. And I want to wish all of them and all of your mothers very happy Mother's Day from Sports Zone Chicago. Okay, it's Mother's Day weekend. All right, I hope you guys have something planned special for your mother if she's still with us. Okay, you got to understand. Don't take this time for granted. Do not do it. We all have friends whose mothers have passed away. Some of us have people who their mom is sick and won't be with us much longer. And of course, we all have people whose moms are still here. Let's respect all of our friends and their mothers and their specific situations. I know this morning I saw a post, a friend of mine on my timeline. You have your friends, you see what your friends post, and they posted they're having a tough time. That their mom they said they're losing their mom. It's a difficult situation. They were very active, very close with their mother. Mother was a dancer. She loved going out dancing. And then in October of 2023, moms had a stroke, and their mother was put in hospice. For some reason, they feel that the time is coming to an end now. I know that was 2023, and we're in 2026. So moms has been able to fight the good fight, but for some reason, this person was just having a rough day. You know, it is Mother's Day weekend. They can't really celebrate Mother's Day the way they want with moms. So it was hitting them. And it was hitting them. And, you know, my thoughts and prayers go out, which is why I tell you all the time, let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow's promised to no one. Okay? And especially around Mother's Days and Father's Day, okay, Christmas, Easter, a lot of those holidays, those feelings really come out. The void that they left in our lives is very prominent. Okay, so let's be careful. Let's be kind to people more so than ever this weekend, because we just don't know what their situation is with their mom, if they're fortunate enough to still have them around, and if they have them around, if they're fortunate enough to still be cognizant, because, you know, Alzheimer's and dementia, it's a thing. Okay, and there's nothing worse than having your mom or your dad here and them not knowing who you are. Okay, that's got to be a tough situation. So like I said, this weekend, let's be kind, extra kind to people, you know, because we do not know what type of battles they're fighting, especially on emotional holidays like this weekend. All right. Let's see. You're a damn fool, Rick. Rick isn't. You're a damn fool. Rick said, don't forget to wish all the Cup fans holding hands in the bathroom a happy Mother's Day. GB. Dude, that's a king. That's a King Booker World. That was up there with King Booker World stuff. Speak of the devil, happy TGI Friday. Goes happy Mother's Day weekend to all the moms, soon to be moms, and moms that are gone. Oh man. That's a way to start my day. That's a way to start my day. King Booker World checking in. And listen. Shorty, we don't hold hands, we just cross streams. Oh man. What a way to start our weekend. Levette Lee, good morning, my happy Mother's Day. She said, sup, Shawn. I want to wish you and then Patty and Monica and all the other mothers out there and your wives, for my male listeners, your wives, happy Mother's Day. If your mom's still with us, happy Mother's Day to your mother as well. Make sure we do something cool for moms. Make sure. So, listen, let's get it cracking, baby. We gotta get it going because at 9:30 we have Evan Altman. All right. So you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
He won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Let's see, which way do we go? We get, man. Shorty says, as you can tell, I'm not mute. And we know you're not a mute. You're talking your ass off at the watch party this past fall, so I know you're not a mute. I'm just kidding because he meant to say muted. Just messing with you. Just messing with you, Shorty. Listen, where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? I mean, we really only have one place to start. Cubs. Man, the Cubs with a big win yesterday. Beating the Reds 8-3 to sweep the series and to take their 9th win in a row. Watch out now. Shota Imanaga was on the bump for the Northsiders. He got the win. He's 4-2, 6 innings, 6 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 10. Count them 10 punch outs for Shota. Michael Conforto, have a day, young man. Have a day. Look at that. 3 for 3, a double, his 5th, a homer, his 2nd, 2 RBIs, 7 and 8 on the year. Miguel Amaya, 1 for 2 with 2 ribbies, his 7th and 8th. And Nico Horner was 1 for 4 with a double, his 11th, driving in his 28th run of the season. As I said, the Cubs, it was their 9th win in a row, and the Cubs have won 15 consecutive games at Wrigley. What in the blue hell is that? All right, you guys, the Cubs just had a 10-game win streak, and now they have a 9-game win streak. Cubs are playing good baseball. Again, not everybody is contributing, not everybody's hot, which is exactly what you want, the way you want it to be. Okay? The Cubs, that's exactly the way you want it to be. The Cubs right now are 4 games up on St. Louis. Okay, 26-12. And they're sitting in a good spot, but let's keep it moving. But we're going to stay with the Cubs. The Cubs, I know they have 15 consecutive wins, but the Cubs travel to Arlington, Texas, to face the Texas Rangers. First pitch tonight is at 7:05 p.m. Central. You can catch that on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station 104.3 FM or 670 AM, The Score. The probables for tonight's game is Ben Brown on the bump for the Northsiders. He's 1-1 with a 2.10 ERA. Going up against Kumar Rocker for the Rangers, who's 1-3 with a 4.71 ERA. Cubs are looking for their 16th consecutive win. Man, I'm sorry. Their 10th consecutive win. Can't get their 16th to the comeback consecutive win at Wrigley to the comeback home. We're looking for their 10th consecutive win. Let's keep it moving. The next top of the morning topic. Baby. Uh-oh. The good guys. Yeah, baby. The good guys on the south side. The other day, White Sox lost to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim 8-2. They lost the series. Man, it was tough. Had they won the game prior to Wednesday's game, had they won Tuesday's game, they would have been a half game in front. As of right now, the White Sox are 2 games back in the standings. They're in third place, believe it or not. Okay, a half a game behind Detroit, who's a game and a half, and 2 games behind the division leader, Cleveland Indians. As I said, but that changes because, or hopefully that will change. Right, because the good guys, my good guys, are hosting. They have their longest homestand of the year. All right, they host the Seattle Mariners at the rate today. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 AM. The probables for tonight's games for Seattle, Emerson Hancock, who's 2-1 with a 2.59 ERA, going up against Shawn Burke, who trots out there for the Southsiders. He's 2-2 with a 2.72 ERA. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Good guys. Man, we were so close to coming to first. I don't give a damn if it's one day. I don't give a damn if it's half a day. So we play early, we win, we go up half a game, and then the team that we go up a half a game on, they win later in the day, and it's tied, and then we lose again. If there's ever a day that we are in first place this year, that'll be awesome. And I know that's such a low bar, but listen, when you have 3 consecutive 100-loss seasons and many prognosticators said it's going to be a 4th, and at any point of the season, except for 1-0, when you're tied for first because, game 1 of the season, we're over a month in. And to reach the pinnacle, it's not a very high bar in the AL Central, let me tell you. But nonetheless, it would still be an accomplishment for this team. So the White Sox need to make a statement. They need a winning record, at least 5-4 on this homestand, the longest homestand of the year. Anything better than 5, I want a 6-3, 7-2. All right, take two out of 3 of everyone, and we'll go 6-3, and I'll be extremely, extremely happy. All right, just take the series from the next 3 series, and I'll be happier than a pig in slop. Let me tell you. A lot of work's got to be done, though. But I'll tell you what, these boys have been putting in that work, and it's exciting to see this young ball club. Cornelius, the Cubs are smoking. Yeah, they're hot. I can't argue that. Levette's like, Shawn, don't sound so happy. Oh, Shaw. That's right, Shawn. But I am happy because my White Sox are in range of first place. Now, I don't expect them to stay there, but they're close. Okay, and with the predictions of this team this year, for them to be anywhere sniffing first place is a wonderful thing for this team. It gives them confidence. It gives those youngsters some hope. It invigorates them because they realize, hey, our division isn't very strong. We don't have to be one of the best teams in baseball. We just have to be one of the better teams in our division. And if we are, we're going to be close to the top. All right. A couple more, and then we got to take a quick break. Next top of the morning, top of the sky, open air season tomorrow night in Portland. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the U locally. Remember, they have no radio station, no radio broadcast. And the last top of the morning topic, one I'm fired up with, the Bears start their rookie minicamp today at Hallis Hall. So be on the lookout for tweets from all the Bears beat writers who are going to be up there and what they see and when they're allowed to see it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our man. All right, Evan Altman. We're going to talk a little Cubs baseball. They are white hot. You know how I feel about you, Scrub fans. And but I cannot deny the Cubs are hot. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. They are hot. All right, 3 walk-offs in a row. All right, yesterday he had a little breathing room. Got a little tight at the end. A little tight, not too bad. But, man, the closer came in. Shut him down. Man, let's talk about it. You got to give respect where respect, give props when props are due. All right, keep it locked right here. ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know, though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Which is understandable. But
yeah, sure. Beat up the middle into center field for a base hit. Runner scores. First and third. Pete Crow Armstrong. Miguel Amaya into center field. 1 run scores. Here comes Pete. 2-run single. Miguel Amaya. Inning continues here for the Cubs. It is. Drive left center field. It splits the gap and goes all the way to the wall. Amaya rounding third, tries to score. Here's the throw. Amaya slides. It's dropped. He's safe.
Oh, I was wondering what the heck was going on. Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those were the Northsiders yesterday. Miguel Amaya, man, he was humping. He was humping, boy. He was dead by a mile, but the catcher dropped the ball. I mean, you saw the umpire initially ruled him out, sees the ball. It's like, no. Safe. Cubs win their 9th in a row, their 15th consecutive at Wrigley. Man, they are hot. Whew. They literally, crooked commission, I couldn't agree with you more, said just took the life out of the Reds. When you take the soul out of a team and a fan base, I can only imagine what it's like on Cincinnati Reds Twitter. Anyway, our first guest, good friend of the program, fired to have him up. Talking about your white hot, not my White Sox, the white hot Northsiders. He's the head honcho, the editor-in-chief of CubsInsider.com. You can find him on Twitter at @Evan_Altman. Guys, just welcome back to Sports. Our guy, enthusiast, Evan Altman. Evan, what's up, bro? How are you? Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. It works out when your team can't lose, man. It's this is something else. I'm running out of superlatives for this squad. This is I mean, honestly, this is the best stretch they've had. And I would argue that it's even better than what they were doing in 2016, to be honest, because we didn't see them go off on these. We just didn't see them lose much in 2016. Like they're winning 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, and they'd have their little streaks. But they're going to go. I just tweeted this out earlier. They're going to go 37 days at least without losing at home, because now they're on the road. They're going to play your White Sox here coming up in about a week and a half.
Yeah.
But they last lost at home. April 11th, and they don't come back home again until like May 18th. So you're like, man, you're going 6 weeks basically without losing at home. Like what is, I don't care what sport or what the schedule holds. Like, that's crazy.
It is crazy. And one of the things we talked about was at the beginning, before the season started, they had about 7 or 8 starters. Like, where the hell are they going to use them all? Well, you know what? Mother Nature's the law of averages came in and started ravaging your pitching staff. Talk to me about how the excessive amount of starters that you had has played a vital role in your ability to win 15 straight at Wrigley, 9 consecutive overall. Talk to me about how that pitching staff has really held up.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at it, second year in a row, right, that Colin Ray has had to come in, and that was a signing that I was a little skeptical of, but we saw, Justin Steele goes down 4 starts in the last season. Colin Ray steps up. Has one of his best seasons of his career, if not the best. This year, Ray's back in the bullpen, kind of middle relief guy. Cade Horton goes down. Guess who's up? And it's Colin Ray back in there. We've seen Javier Assad come back up. They had him optioned down to the minors so he could keep stretched out. They got to pull him up. We're going to see tonight in Texas, Ben Brown, who actually I was there for his major league debut, came in the second game of the season back in Texas, largely because Justin Steele was injured back then. So we've seen Brown, increase his repertoire, add in the changeup, adding in the sinker to be more of a starter type. So it's having that depth, all of which, all those guys I mentioned have been in-house for at least the last 2 years. And Ray had a brief stint back in, I think, 2020 with them too. But it's a lot of that. Hey, they've added some guys, they've kept some dudes around, but we've seen this depth kind of built out. And I think what's nice about that is these are all guys who Craig Counsell has been around for a while. He understands kind of the way they go about their business. And so you've got those guys in place. Now, would you like to see maybe some more impact type arms? Sure. But you can't exactly stockpile those guys either, right? You can't go sign a dude and be like, all right, buddy, we're just going to keep you in the minors for a while until we need you. So
stay ready.
Yeah. Like, cool. Be ready for it. But the tough part comes now, right? They knew Steele was going to be gone for a while till at least late May. Obviously didn't know Horton was going to have the injury that he did. Now you got Matt Boyd out though for 6 weeks. The other issue in Steele,
Damn kids.
Recovery. Yeah. What are you doing? And that's what's funny. Like, I still saw people like, I can't believe the trainers can't keep these guys healthy. Like, okay, so what are you going to do? Like, go play bodyguard and, all right, kids, stay away from dad's knee. But, now he's out till he's out till at least mid-June, probably late June. Steele, it's looking like second half. And that's where early in the season's one thing. Guys are fresh, no big deal. Now you get to the point where, hey, they've been winning a lot of games, but they've also been playing a lot of games. I know that maybe sounds kind of silly when I say it that way, but when you all of a sudden lose a starter, now you got to put Brown into the rotation. He's not fully stretched out. You got to lean heavily on a bullpen that's also had its share of injuries. That really starts to wear on teams as the season goes along. So they're really going to need to be very, very efficient with that rotation, have those guys go deeper than maybe what we're used to seeing these days in the game. So it's going to be tough to navigate these next few weeks.
Yeah, but how important is it, or how much easier is it going to be? The Northside Power Company has been in full effect. I mean, you're putting up 6, 8, 10 runs. That makes it easier on your pitchers, on your Ben Browns, on the guys who come up, on your Colin Rays, or they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect, because if it's a 3-2 game or a 2-1 game, there's a lot more pressure on the pitcher. You put up they put up a 6 spot, a 7 spot yesterday in the fourth. All right. All of a sudden, you as a pitcher, you're like, whew, all right, I can go pitch. I can go through, I can go at people, as opposed to saying, hey, I got to keep my team in there. How important is that Lumber Company been offensively? And not everybody's been hot, which is good. But talk to me about the importance of them scoring so many runs so often.
Yeah, I mean that's huge, right? And not even within the game as it's going on, but even ahead of it, when and the Cubs know this, right? Like, they just walked off the Reds the first 3 games. They got 6 walk-offs out of their 15 straight home wins, which is just that's crazy, right? 3 in a row is wild in and of itself. The last of which came when they were down 2 runs. They gave up a 2 spot in the top of the 9th. And, I tweeted out my little GIF from those of us who were, into their 80s iconic movies, the Lost Boys. And you got the dude with the sax on the beach singing I Still Believe. I shared it. I was like, they're going to win. It's fine. I know that, but so do the pitchers, right? And the same thing, man, if you're back there, I don't care what sport it is, say it's football, and you're back there in the backfield and that your offensive line is going to destroy that D-line, that ahead of the game. You can rest easy. All you got to do is take the ball, hit the gap, and go. You don't have to think. And you're not worried about, oh man, it's not Barry Sanders with the Lions knowing he's got to outrun 3 linebackers in the backfield just to gain a yard. Right? Similarly, if you're a pitcher and I don't have to be perfect. If I go out and I have a little bit of hiccup early in the game, like, big deal. My offense is going to pick me up. Doesn't matter. And you can go out there and just throw freely. To me, man, that is such a huge advantage that they've got that as a pitcher or as a bullpen guy, right? Again, I don't have to win the game myself. I don't have to carry this. Let me just go out and throw and pitch my game. I think that's huge, because you're seeing it. Like, they are winning in every form or fashion. They're hitting home runs. They're during the stretch anyway here, they're one of the top offenses in the game, but they reach base more than any other team in baseball. If you go back to the beginning of this little stretch of the last 22 games, I think they're second in home runs, second in slugging, first in on base. They've got the lowest strikeout rate or among it. They've got one of the highest walk rates. Like, they're stealing bases opportunistically. They're doing everything you would expect. Their batting average is number 1. Like, so they're reaching base and they're getting hits. And some of those are leaving the yard, certainly at very opportune times. We saw that with Michael Conforto hitting a walk-off bomb. We just saw PCA hit a game-time bomb. Like, everything that can go right is. And as you know, when you have that momentum, whether that's real or not, it could be Dumbo's magic feather, right? Dumbo could fly on his own, but he thought it was the feather. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as it's working. And that's where I feel like this team has gotten to. They're just like, whatever happens, we're going to find a way to win. And that is huge for the pitchers.
It really is. And that's the confidence that you mentioned, that it's brimming with the teams, with the guys on the north side. And as I said earlier, not everybody's even hot. But then again, you don't want all 9 guys hot at one time, because chances are if they're hot at one time, they're going to get cold together. And you don't want that and have all the bats go silent. Talk to me about some of the guys that you know, Alex Bregman has started to come up a little more. PCA is starting to come up a little more. Moises Ballesteros is making noise. Talk about some of these guys who are starting to get really hot now. Seiya Suzuki hit a couple homers last couple of weeks, which is good for you guys. But talk about the rotating lineup of who's hot and how that can go for a while and really take you guys. You guys are already up 4 games. It was like, I think the last time you came out was like a day or two before. I was laughing because you guys were in last. So we were in last, and I knew it was like 4th or 5th game of the year. But I'm laughing because I know you're not going to be there. But it's good that both Cubs and Sox are in last place.
Yeah.
But talk about how the rotating of guys being hot is so beneficial to this team.
Yeah, I mean, and this is something, you know, I'll toot my horn a little bit, but in kind of looking at this roster, the way it was set up and heading into the season, it felt like one of those that was going to be a lot less boom or bust than what we had seen in the past, that you had a more balanced attack in that, like you said, not everybody's going to be hot at once. And you don't need that. You can have 1 or 2 guys carry the team for a couple games, and then it's these other 2, and then it's these other 3. And the way that you see this balance to where it's like anybody I was looking this up the other day, you know, because Dansby Swanson's been batting at the bottom of the lineup most of the time, and he's been okay down there. But I looked and I saw that, you know, of all the players who have batted in the 9-hole, I think 2 of the top 5, when you look at their production, are Pete Crow Armstrong and Miguel Amaya, both of whom, you know, we saw the little clip right there of those 2 hitting little bouncing singles up the middle to drive in 3 runs yesterday. That's huge. And they're, you know, obviously they can't both bat in the 9-hole every game. But when you can get that kind of production down there, you've got Nico Horner. To me, the biggest thing with this, and I've been advocating this for a long time, and it took for a couple weeks into the season for it to happen. Craig Counsell had been using, if it's a lefty on the mound, Nico Horner's going to lead off. If it's a righty, it's going to be Michael Busch, right, for the handedness stuff. Busch got into a slump, which I think was the best thing that could have happened, honestly, because that forced Counsell to go ahead and put Horner in that leadoff spot permanently. Doesn't matter who's on the mound. Now, the rest of the lineup, what I like about it too, is that part is static, but the other 8 spots in that order are not the same on any given day. It's going to depend on the matchup. And then, you know, if it is a righty on the mound, then you're going to see Moises Ballesteros batting in the 2-hole. He's moved up with his hot hitting as the DH. You know, you might see Ian Happ bat 3rd or 4th. You're going to see Carson Kelly move up or down, depending on, you know, Michael Busch might bat 2nd or 3rd if it's a righty at times. If it's a lefty on the mound, and that's the other thing I like, is Busch is still in there, but he's going to bat 6 or 7. And so it's not just that you have these same, it's not like when we were kids and you knew every day, unless a guy was getting a day off, like here's the order, and that's what it was going to be, flat out. That's just what it was. But now, because of those matchups and because they've got such a deep bench, I just mentioned Michael Conforto. Dude didn't get in at bat for like 4 days. Put him in there, you know, and pinch hit him for Matt Shaw, who had been in the game for pinch running for Ballesteros. So now Conforto comes and hits his bomb. Like it's crazy to have that depth to say there were a couple games when they batted 4 different guys in the DH spot in a game because they went like left, right, or vice versa, whatever the case may be, because of the matchups of opposing pitchers. Like I haven't seen something like that before. Certainly just being a National League fan, we haven't had the DH for long enough to really have a long track record of it. But man, Counsell is pulling all the strings, and it helps that these guys are there, that you have players. You make all the moves in the world, you're going to look like an idiot if nobody comes through and actually performs. But they're performing, and every day is a new hero. It's wild. I don't remember seeing it this balanced in the past.
Talk to me what it's like in that club. What you think it's like in that clubhouse when you know that your number can get called any day. You know, you might not start. It doesn't mean you're not going to finish. And you got to stay. You got to be ready. You got to stay ready. So you don't got to get ready, because that team needs you, and you know that. You know that if you get put in, all right, you're up to bat. They just put a left-hander in. We need a right-handed bat. You know you're going to get put in. Talk to me about how it forces these players to stay ready and be ready for their teammates because at any specific time, you might be called upon in a pinch, and you got to deliver. You got a winning streak to keep up.
Absolutely. I mean, and this is very reminiscent of that 2016 team as well. You know, a lot is made about kind of Ben Zobrist having been that sort of jack of all trades, but I mean, Chris Bryant played all over the field that year. Javi Baez played all over the field. Joe Madden did that with a lot of guys. And, you know, you saw when they brought Wilson Contreras up and you've got 3 catchers in there and trying to find time for them. You know, that's kind of similar to what we're seeing, you know, Matt Shaw being moved into a utility role and kind of being, you know, for lack of a better term, forced to accept that versus being the everyday third baseman. But he has excelled in it. And some of those guys, I think there is something to be said for, you know, your role's not going to be the same every day. And so it does keep you on your toes. It forces you to be attentive and to know that, like you said, at any given moment, you know, you might not be starting, but again, if it's Mo Baller, there's the DH with a righty on the mound. If they go to a tough lefty reliever, Shaw better be ready to go, you know, or you know, it might be a guy getting a break. We saw that with Bregman, kind of hurt his toe, fouled the ball off there, and he gets a little time off, but he's still going to be ready to bat, you know, and he was. He came up in a big moment a couple weeks ago, a week or so ago, and had to be ready. I mean, and you could see him there just pacing the club. Like, he's got his helmet on, he's got his armor on already, got his bat in his hands, ready to go.
Ready. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Yeah. And when it's that guy, when it's your big money, the biggest signing they've had in the offseason for a while, when this guy comes in with his leadership, with his pedigree, and he's totally cool with being, you know what? Yep, I'm not at 100%. It's best for the team for me to sit this one out, but I'm ready when you need me. That sets a really great tone. And it just, this team, there's obviously everybody's going to have an ego. It's professional sports, but you can tell that they've all been willing to set that aside, that they all just vibe with that. There's nobody who's thinking they're above anybody else. Again, Bregman could easily have come in, or any, you know, see a big signing like that. They could easily come in, rock the boat a little bit, kind of force guys to do it. But I mean, he has really come in and I think been a tremendous glue guy. I know that sounds really trite. We use it all the time. But normally you think of a glue guy as being the dude on the end of the bench, kind of who does some of those little things we need to. But in this case, that's a lot of what Bregman was paid his money to do, was to come in and kind of fill those gaps and really take over as a leader. And I think that is huge for how that follows through the rest of the team.
And guys, we're joined by Evan Altman. He's the editor-in-chief of CubsInsider.com. We're talking Cubs baseball here on ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Talk to me about the defense they're playing, because I don't care how many runs you score. If you keep giving teams extra outs, this is the big leagues. I don't care if they are the worst, playing the worst team. You give teams extra outs, it's going to hurt you. Talk to me about the solid defense that they're playing that has really nipped a whole bunch of shit in the bud against their opponents.
Yeah, I mean, again, I hate to keep going back to it, but we saw that with 2016. You know, there's so much about that team that was so balanced, and the defense was a huge part of it, to where, again, as a pitcher, not only do you know your offense is going to score, but when you know what, I can make some mistakes here, and it's okay. As long as the wind's not blowing out too hard that all those mistakes leave, as long as that ball stays within the confines of the field, you've got a pretty darn good chance. I mean, you got PCA, who's pretty much going to win a Gold Glove every year for the rest of his career. You know, Ian Happ's got several out there. You've got Bush. You've got, you know, Shaw was wherever he plays, right? But he was a Gold Glove contender. You've got Swanson and Horner, who were the two best, in my opinion, at their positions. And then you got Carson Kelly back there, who's been possibly the best overall in the league as far as his ABS challenges. So, you know, he's got just a great rapport with all those pitchers and a tremendous understanding of the zone. And we're seeing how those, you know, a lot of people thought ABS would take framing out of it. And to some extent it has, but we're also seeing how some of these things can change, you know, knowing when to challenge, when not to. So across the board, as a pitcher, if you go in knowing A, my offense is going to come back from anything, and B, my defense is going to stop a lot of these rallies from happening. They're going to clean up some of my mistakes. And so I can feel free pitching to contact like that. That's just so huge.
Yesterday, the final strike. The final strike was it was ball 4, and he rang him up, and the batter said, "No, check it out." And they went to it. You know, I know that wasn't a challenge by the catcher, But still, hey, you talked about ABS. The final out, ABS worked against the Reds in that time and rang them up. Get your ass out. Get out of town.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many little things, and that's again what it comes down to, right? Is when you take care of all the little things, the big things take care of themselves.
There are no big
right?
things. That's what my buddy said. One of my coaching. Take care of the little things. There are no big things.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing with this team. Even though they would seem big, you lose your ace, you lose your number 2 or number 3, things like that. Like, there are big problems, but again, they have done enough to kind of fill those gaps, and to make sure that they can plug that next guy in, and all those other things that they're able to do defensively, offensively, make up for some of those losses. Again, eventually that it's a long season and those things can come back to bite you. But right now they're just doing everything well. There isn't a big weakness on this team that somebody else can exploit.
Yeah, there is no weakness on the team, and that's the cool part. Like you talked about, people get excited. I've been in on teams, and not baseball teams, but basketball and football teams, where guys are ready to contribute, and that's what it is. Like, okay, you understand that many times for a team to be great, people got to sacrifice, having the most home runs, or scoring the most points, or throwing the most touchdowns. You got to sacrifice that for the team, and people do that because other people step up. And it seems like right now there's a fight at the bat rack for guys who want to step up for the Cubs when there's a time for their number to be called, and that's is going to take this team a long way. If they can keep it for the whole season, which I think they can, and health, they can stay pretty healthy. It's going to be a situation where I don't think the Cubs are really going to. Excuse me. I don't really think they're going to be challenged for the NL Central. It might get a little tight, but I don't really think that they're going to be challenged. They should be easily take the NL Central because they're just playing good ball, and if they continue to do this on a day in and day out basis, I mean, there's nothing you can do, because you're going to end up playing Cincinnati again. You're going to end up playing Milwaukee again. You win 2 out of 3. Man, that shit adds up quick. And all of a sudden, instead of 4 games, you're 6 games, you're 7 games in front. And all of a sudden, the gap widens big time. And next thing you know, it's September, and teams can't catch up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing about stacking these wins now.
Yes,
is getting it done. Like we're saying. You've got a couple guys who are, the rotation isn't getting a lot of help from these guys returning from injury for another few weeks at the earliest, 5-6 weeks even. And so stacking those wins, playing that solid baseball, and eventually it's going to have to slow down. You don't just keep winning 10 in a row and 9 in a row. That's not normal, but it's not outside the realm of possibility, even with a depleted roster, to be able to go out there and, like you said, win 2 out of 3, win 3 out of 5. And that's all you've got to really keep doing at this point. They're winning at, what are they now? They're at a 684 winning percentage, right? That's probably not going to keep up all season, but you go 600 the rest of the way, you're going to have a darn good season, and that's all you got to do. Is at the end of the day, it comes down to avoiding the bad skids. Don't drop 5 or 6 in a row. And we've seen it. That's what just happened with the Reds. The Reds have lost 7 in a row now. When the Cubs swept the Mets, the Mets were in the middle of losing 13 in a row. The Phillies went on the long skid, and that can just
caught them at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. Like the Mets overall have been playing pretty poorly, right? They're 14-23. That's not good at all. But that's the kind of thing, like, that is so tough. If you can, the opposite is true of what I've been saying. If you're a pitcher and you can go out there and throw, knowing your offense and defense have got your back, it's easy. But if you're out there pitching with a 5-run deficit, those are tough, and you're pitching with the bases loaded all the time. Similarly, you're playing with a 4 or 5 game lead. That's very different from having to come back 4 or 5 games late in the season. And we've seen it with the Cubs in the past. We've seen it with a bunch of other teams. Sometimes you can get hot and play it that way and maintain it, but sometimes you're having to pull all these different levers and keep that thing from falling apart. If you can just run out front early and just kind of run away and hide, makes the season a whole lot easier down the stretch.
Damn sure does. Evan, great stuff, my man. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, though, before you go, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Absolutely. Check us out. So, Real Cubs Insider on X. Check me out at @DEvanAltman. Go to Facebook and just search Cubs Insider, or you just go to CubsInsider.com and you'll find all our stuff there.
Great stuff, my man. I appreciate it. Talk soon.
Take it easy.
All righty. Guys, that's Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com. You guys are in a good spot. You're feeling good. Looking good, Lewis. Feeling good, Billy Ray. You're in a good spot, and it's all going to come to a crash again next weekend when the White Sox take 2 out of 3 on the south side. But I digress. Anyway, let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our guy, Lorin Cox from the Locked In podcast. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best. I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books. I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that. This one
You obviously wanted to be coached hard, and then you were willing to accept the way that he does it, and then you see the results of it when you get away from the season.
Yeah.
What did you see when you had a distance to reflect on?
Yeah. Coaching matters.
Some smart guy I know once said, coaching matters. Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. That clip courtesy of the Chicago Bears. And, coaching matters. And we're going to find out because the Bears think they got the bestest in the business. They're going to coach them up. That's what they're going to do. My next guest is a good friend of the program. He is the host of the Locked On Bears podcast. You can find him on Twitter at Cox Sports One, like Fox Sports One with a C. Let's welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports, our guy, Lorin Cox. Lorin, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for your time, man. I truly appreciate it. Rookie minicamp starts today. Ben was already at the podium, spitting out words of wisdom. Did you get a chance to check that out?
I did, yeah. Didn't
Your
say
thoughts?
a lot of nothing earth shattering, but gave us his thoughts on some of the UDFAs and some of the guys they had identified really early in the process as guys that they wanted to get in here and bring them into camp. And he tried to give us an answer about Zay Frazier being released yesterday, the 5th round pick, and didn't give us a ton, but clearly indicated that, they didn't think he was going to be on the right trajectory to come back to the team. So, sounds like they're ready to bail on that one.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that, and it's unfortunate for that guy. It's I don't know. We don't know what his personal reasons are or what they were that kept him from playing last year. Had to be pretty serious because this is your childhood dream. All right, I don't know the young man, but I'm sure that was his childhood dream to make it to the NFL. And for something like that, for you to let something like that derail you, it had to be pretty big. And unfortunately, the Bears got tired of waiting, and they got tired and said, "Hey, you know what? We already got some replacement for you in Malik Muhammad. Good luck with your football career. We're moving on." Because the NFL, as you know, that stands for not for long. And I just hope whatever he was dealing with, he's through it and gets a fresh start somewhere else because, obviously he got drafted, so he's got some ability. I mean, he's a freak, cornerback. He's 6'3", long arms, he's long and lanky, fast, he can cover. I mean, he just needs a chance maybe, and hopefully, it's going to be somewhere else. It's not going to be here with the Bears.
Yeah, and I feel like it has to have hit some kind of big point because, like, all last year we heard about how Al Harris loved Zay Frazier in the draft. Like, I think the story was that, like, in like January, like early in the process, Frazier or Harris was the one who kind of brought Zay Frazier to Ryan Pohl's attention. It was like, this defensive back from UTSA, I really like him. Let's make sure we can get him. So, like, when your position coach like pounds the table for you and has the team use a 5th round pick on you, like, clearly they were willing to give him every opportunity to succeed, right? Like, not that he was getting any like major favors, but like they were very incentivized. Al Harris clearly wanted this to work out and was willing to be patient for a full calendar year. But eventually, the juice stops being worth the squeeze there. And best of luck to you. And be interesting to see like if this just means the end of his football career, or if he can attempt to come back at some point. But we don't have enough information to know what the heck's actually going on there.
Yeah. Is there anyone who you're interested in seeing? I know it's rookie minicamp and you're really not going to see a whole bunch of stuff, but is there anyone that you can't wait to see how they perform or how they look out there today?
Yeah, I mean, I think both of the defensive tackles, both the 6th round pick Jordan Vandenberg and then the undrafted free agent Jaden Loving, are two of the most athletic, freaky defensive tackles in the draft in terms of the height, weight, speed combination that these guys have. And without the pads on, they should look super fast and explosive, right? Like, it's not really a great measurement of how physical they'll be able to be and really how well they'll be beat up on blockers and stuff. Like, it's not going to tell us a ton about how great they'll be in training camp just or anything, but like I'd love to see that speed and that physicality really stand out. Like, if the testing numbers are true to what you do on the field, then they should look at going up certainly against a bunch of other rookies and tryout players that they should be more physically dominant then. But their actual chances at the 53-man roster, we won't really get a better sense of that till the pads come out in training camp. Yeah,
I hear you. That's a good call. Those two DTs, because you want to see the vanilla gorilla go crazy. The numbers he had at his pro day would have been like top 5, top 10 in the defensive tackle category at the combine. So you want to see that. You just want to see. There's a thing. There's a thing called the eye test. Like, let me see it. Let me see him stand out among his rookies. All right, let me see him stand out. I just can't keep my eyes off of him because he's doing something. He got off the ball super fast. He went right by the offensive lineman. He stopped, turned, spun, came back, tagged the quarterback real quick. You want to see something out of these guys, and we're just like, oh shit, okay, I see you. I see what they're thinking, and that'll make people feel much better. For me, I want to see Xavier, bro.
Yeah,
I just want to see Xavier, dude. I want to see just take a little quick slant to the house. That's what I want to see. I want to see it gone. Put his hand up, throw that sucker deep, and I just want to see his 4.28 is fast, dude. That's fast. I thought I had a guy in college that ran like a 4.3. I want to say like a 4.34. One of the cornerbacks. Kid out of Texas, Maury Bonner. He's a track guy. 4.3 is fast. 4.28. And I knew whenever in practice, if I broke out, I was never breaking the ticket all the way. Not with Maury, because he one time I stiff armed him and got away, and because he was light, he was a track guy, and scored a touchdown. After that, a couple times later, he just jumped on me.
Don't even let
you take this 185 pounds into the end zone with you. But seeing that 4.3 speed it's crazy, and to watch 4.28 speed, that's the dude I want to see, man.
That's another one. He needs to look like man amongst boys a little bit out there, right? Like, you should be able to, especially at rookie minicamp, there's no pads, and the DBs can't really get a lot of hands on you or anything. Like, and you're the 3rd round pick. Like, you should look faster than everybody else. You should look more explosive, more slippery, like all those things. I want to see those guys separate themselves a little bit. In this stage, it's kind of like the early first test before you get to like, you start playing against the veterans and OTAs, and then, it's another level on the test. Then you put pads on, it's another level of test. Then you play real opponents.
Yeah,
This is sort of the first stage of like dominate here to check that first box.
Yeah, there's levels to this, and that's what you want to see with these guys initially. What do you think about this coaching? You know, one of the things that a lot of people were upset with was they didn't really get a top flight edge rusher. They didn't address the defensive tackle till late in the draft, and Ben said we're going to coach him up. Your thoughts on how this coaching staff, now being a year in, because of these guys came from other places. Everybody knows how Dennis Allen likes his stuff. Everybody knows how Ben Johnson likes his stuff. Your thoughts on the coaching and how that could be different and really help this team with the current roster that they have.
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth on this because on the one hand, it's like, what is Dennis? Is there something they weren't coaching them to do last year that they're going to coach them to do this year? Like rushing the passer is not rocket science. It's a lot of like technique and fundamentals. It's not so much like, there's scheme to it for sure in terms of stunting and blitzing, but like oftentimes at an individual level, it's like, hey, you're just pinning your ears back and go get the quarterback, and they weren't good enough at it last year. So is there some new hand technique that they're going to teach them this year that they weren't teaching them last year, or new footwork and timing that they're going to there's always more to teach players. I get that. But on the other hand, last year was their first year working with these guys. Like they were still spending the first half of the year figuring out, well, what does he do well? What does he not do well? How can we use him best? Where is he not fitting in as well? And there was kind of a learning curve process of like how to properly coach these guys and what each guy needs, both in terms of technique, but also just in terms of, coaching style. Is this a player that needs me to yell at him and get under his skin? Or is it a player that doesn't need that kind of extra motivation, just needs me to be, kind of walk him through it, like this sort of the softer versus harder coaching. So I'm willing to give them some benefit of the doubt of like, yes, now that they've had this whole group for a full year, they should be able to hone in on exactly specifically what every individual player needs in order to be the most successful versions of themselves. So they should be able to get better and get a little bit healthier, but I'm not convinced that like they're going to coach them up and they're going to all of a sudden become a top 15 pass rusher in the NFL. Like, I think they will be better because I don't think they can be worse, but just because they're better doesn't mean they're good,
Yeah, you can go from really, really bad to just bad. That's better, but you're still bad. Hey, Lorin, I know you got to run, buddy. I appreciate the time today. Do me a huge favor, though. Before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't give you more time this morning, but happy to do it again sometime soon. You can follow along all offseason on the Locked On Bears podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can follow me on social media at Cox Sports One. Like you said at the top, Fox Sports One with a C.
Great stuff, buddy. We'll be in touch soon. Bear to freak down. Already press conference at Hallis Hall today. Fired up. Feels like football's coming back slowly but surely. I smell it. It's coming. Football season's in the air. All right, Lorin. We'll talk soon, man. Thanks. Good. Guys, this is Lorin Cox of the Locked On Bears podcast. Talking Bears, talking rookie minicamp. And, there's a lot of things I want to see. From these rookies, a lot of things I want to see from this coaching staff, a lot of things I want to see from these players. Okay, I want to see Austin Booker take a step forward. I want to see Grady Jarrett after not being injured. Windy P4K. What's up, Bubba? How are you? Sadaya was injured. Yes, Shamar was injured. Grady, Montez, Sadaya are all getting paid, and Austin Booker has come a long way. Next year will be the time to add more talent when they have money freed up. Okay. I don't know. I'm not a big Dio fan. Shamar's a guy I really wanted to see last year, and he should be back. Without impingement, and I think him learning under Grady Jarrett is going to be huge. And here's why: those two guys have the same mentality. All right, if you remember Grady Jarrett in his Pro Bowl years down in Atlanta, he just had a motor that would not stop. It just would not stop. So you block him, cool. He rips. You block it. He spins. You block him. He stops and clubs you. I mean, there's so many different moves. He was not stopping. And that's the same way Shamar Turner is. And it's very difficult to stop a man that doesn't give up. Okay. And to have a guy like that on your team, and then you bring in the Vanilla Gorilla, the guy from South Africa, who one of his childhood heroes growing up in the game was Grady Jarrett. So now you get to be mentored by a guy that you looked up to. That's going to go a long way. And Austin Booker had a good year last year, but now we're really expecting him, as he's put on some weight, we're expecting him to hold it down. We're expecting him to have a breakout year. And here's where the coaching comes in, and here's where the coaching is going to be paramount to get these guys, to make sure that a Grady Jarrett has a productive year, to make sure that a Nev Gallimore has a productive year, to make sure that a Austin Booker has a breakout year. Okay, coaching is going to be huge. All right, coaching is going to be huge. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Dio either. Windy P4K says, I'm not a fan of Dio either, but he's here and he's paid. So he's gonna be on the field if he's healthy. He better be on the field. He better perform. Man, he's getting a hell of a lot of money and he's blocking us from getting some other players. So you better be worth that investment. You better be worth that investment, Dio, because man, that took up a lot of the cap room that we have. Okay, so Shorty too. Shorty says not a fan of Dio either, Shawn. Oh man, Black Diamond says if Austin Booker is healthy most of the season, he gets 8 to 10 sacks after the hashtag book it. Okay, I hope so. I hope you call that right and you can come back here talking shit like, remember what I said? He's gonna get 10 sacks. Remember I told you? I'd be like, I remember, Black Diamond. I remember. So you talk. Dio was one of the worst signings ever, making freaking Julius Peppers. Oh man, can you imagine what Julius Peppers would make today? Can you imagine what Julius Peppers would make today? He'd be up there. He'd be there right next to Myles Garrett as far as contract goes. If Julius Peppers played today. See, and that's the problem with a lot of great athletes from my time and the generation right after. They came a generation or two too soon. Because the money that these players are making now is insane. Julius Peppers was just a freak of nature, 6'7", and I met that dude. I met that dude when he was with the Bears. It was funny. I was playing with the Thunder, Chicago Thunder. We had a game. It was training camp for the Bears, but our season starts in the summer and finishes in October. So me and my fullback Mark was the best man in his wedding. We go to camp because we saw that Saturday. We had a game that Saturday in Kankakee, which for those of you who know, it's right down I-57, 5 minutes away from Bourbonnais. So we went down to Bears camp and we went to scout a location for the guys, for us to go party afterwards. If you've ever been to Bourbonnais, there's a place called the Library, which is a bar. I think it's an excellent name for a library. Parents go home. Where were you last night? I was at the library. Oh, okay. So we walk in and we talk to the manager. Say, hey, we got a football team coming. We're playing down here Saturday, but blah, 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 blah. He's like, okay, email me. We'll set up some kind of drink specials, whatever. So email him, nothing. Email him, nothing. Day of the game comes, and I'm like, man, nothing. I haven't heard from him. So we go down to the game, and we're just like, let's go to the bar. He's gonna, he'll remember the conversation from earlier in the week. So we get there, and he's like, oh man, he goes, I'm sorry, I was busy. I meant to email you, whatever. And he says, and mind you, I got like almost 20 people with me. All right. A lot of guys didn't want to stay because they're like, I don't want to have a few drinks and drive back down 57. They're city guys. Like, I don't know if they're going to deal with the city people, whatever. But I had like 20 people with us. And he's like, don't worry. He goes, I'll take care of your drinks all night. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. because I got the drinks. I'm like, dude, no way. I'm like, I got 15, 20 people with. He goes, don't worry, I got it. I was like, all right. And the beers were cheaper down there because when Mark and I went down there to scout, I went down and I was like, excuse me, ma'am, can I get let me get two Miller Lights. She's like, all right, $4. I'm like, no, two. She goes, yeah, $4. I'm like, they're only $2? Or where's the happy hour? She's like, no, they're $2 every day. I was like, oh shit. I was happy to pick a slop because up here there was $3, $4, $5. All right. So we start going. It was funny. Every time someone went up, we grabbed, two people would have to go up and grab a tray of Miller Lights. Most of everyone was drinking. But someone always had to come up with a 20. All right. It's a tip. The guy was giving us a free drink. And if you go out, you're going to spend more than $20 anyway. All right. So I went up first. I dropped the 20, a tip for the waiters, for the bartender. The next, two people went up. They dropped 10 and 10 or 20. So that bartender they saw us coming. They had the two trays filled. A friend of mine who was girl I was dating at the time was there. She was he went to the game and obviously hung out with us. And she's like, I got to go to the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. She's about to go to the bathroom. The door opens. In comes Lance Briggs with Julius Peppers. And the girl I'm dating, she was short. She was like 5'1". All right. She didn't see him come in. I kind of heard the door and I just looked and I was like, oh, snap, it's Julius Peppers. And she gets off her chair, like her back was to them. She turns around and she's like right at Julius Peppers' waist. She's like, oh, damn. And she looks up. She's like, you are tall. I was like, what's up, Julius? I was like, what's up, Lance? Like, what's up, guys? Like, want a drink? And like, no. So they stay for a second. But I saw that dude, and that dude was svelte. I mean, there wasn't an ounce of body fat on that son of a gun. Big legs, real trim waist, big broad shoulders. I'm like, this is an NFL player. God bless it. He was all of 6'7", dude. All of 6'7". Not 6'6" and 3/4, 6'6" and a half. This motherfucker was 6'7", probably plus. I was like, damn, this is the quintessential NFL player, the body of an NFL player I've ever seen. It's like, man. So that was crazy meeting Julius Peppers down in Bourbonnais. But imagine what that dude would command as a contract now. Unreal. But let's get back to today. All right, the rookies are there. All right, Lorin said he'd like to see some of the D tackles and how they're playing. I would love to see it as well. Okay, I want to see Xavier. I want to see him take something and nobody be able to catch him. Just turn it on and be like, that's some speed, Mother Hubbards. That's what speed is. We've never had that type of dude do it in a game. We've had fast guys. We had Johnny Knox, so he got broke backwards. That was unfortunate. We even got Luther Burden, who's fast. Devin Hester, he ran a 4.3. He didn't run a 4.28. But we never had that receiver just like, that dude runs posts, goes, and corner routes or over routes. That's all he does. Doesn't come near the middle of the field. His hash mark line, that's his area to roam. You know what I mean? It might even be numbers to the sideline. Shoot, it's hashtags getting too close to that free safety. But I want to see highlights of and get confirmed what people say about the speed of Xavier Thomas. Because we're excited about what he can bring. We're excited about what kind of weapon he can be utilized as in Ben Johnson's offense. We're excited about the possibilities. That's what it is. the possibilities of finally having a stable, an arsenal of weapons. An arsenal of weapons for our quarterback. All right. Again, we haven't had this type of talent since 2013. 13 years ago. We're talking my guy, Jay Cuddy. You can cut it. I love Cutler. But you had Cutler, you had Brandon Marshall, you had Alshon Jeffrey, you had Martellus Bennett, and you had Matt Forte. That's a nice offense right there. A bona fide number one of the, if not the best number 2 wide receivers in the NFL. Bona fide, excellent receiving and blocking tight end because that was an NFL tight end's body. Tight end, dude. 6'5", 6'6", bottom heavy, big legs, run through tackles, have people bounce off his legs, good soft hands. And then Matt Forte could do anything he wanted, except short yardage. That offense was explosive. And now we're in a situation where we have another offense that's just as, if not more, explosive. They need to put up numbers, but we have as much talent. We have 2 running backs who are great. Okay. We have wide receivers. Luther Burden is on the brink of stardom. I won't say superstardom yet. Stardom. You have Rome Odunze, who is coming back with a chip on his shoulder after having a really, really amazing start to the season last year. All right, a touchdown in the first, 5 games of the year. All right, looking like all pro before he got hurt. Then he had some of the drops. He had some of the yips. And now we have a guy there who's a number 9 overall pick who's looking to have a breakout season due to the poor ending of the season last year. Then you have, like I said, Luther Burden III, who I think is primed, ready to be that wide receiver 1. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder. And he mentioned it, how people pass him up in the draft. You're going to pay. You're going to pay. Colson Loveland, mismatch for any defense. Too big for a safety, too fast for a linebacker. Cole Kmet, another guy who's going to get you key receptions, third down receptions, red zone receptions. You just got this guy, Rouch, who's another dude at that, who's great at key receptions and can run. Caleb is going to have a plethora of weapons to use. And I can't wait to see the newest one they add, and that's Xavier Thomas. Because there's so many different things they're going to do with this young man. All right. Put him in the backfield. All right. A speed motion around the end. Jet sweeps. Wide receiver screens. And then I just want to see him take the top off of defense. Caleb sit back and just launch it. I want to see that once or twice this year. All right. They're talking about, okay, listen, he might not get a lot of reps at receiver. Okay. But on this play, I need you to be the slot receiver on the left. I need you to run to the far, go on to -40 coming out. I want you to run to the opposite back pylon. Get there as fast as you can. If he gets behind that safety, if it depends if a cover 3 or a cover 2 gets behind the right safety, it's over. And I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see that speed. because that is going to put fear, instill fear in the heart of defensive coordinators and defensive backs. Okay, then I want to see, there's so many different things I want to see with this guy. Just want to see his speed. So in rookie minicamp, I also want to see Dylan Thieneman. I want his speed, 4.35. His speed should stand out as well. His speed should stand out as well. I want to see some clips of him making a play, reading it, pass breakup. You know, it's just shorts and helmets probably. All right, but I want to see him break on the ball. I want to see that speed. And, you know, you're the number 25 pick that shouldn't have dropped past 15. That's for damn sure. You need to be playing with a chip on your shoulder as well. I don't think anybody had him mocked past 15. No one thought he was getting past Minnesota. They decided to throw a curveball and go get a dude with foot problems. 300-pound guy with foot problems. Okay. Well, if you can avoid those foot problems, you got a baller. Can't avoid those foot problems. It's a risk. It's a risk. But, you know, that's GM, there's your job. Because one of the strengths of the Minnesota Vikings was their secondary. Harrison Smith was there for years. How many years did Harrison Smith play? Let's see, Harrison Smith. $14 seasons. The Vikings released him. And he hasn't officially announced his retirement. But, dude, you're 37. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'm not counting your pockets. I'm not counting money in your pockets, but damn, dog. 14 seasons? You don't feel like, all right, man, I know it's my last year. I know I got to give it up. Nothing? 14 years? You didn't make enough money to be like, shit, I'm out of here. You didn't make enough money? Let me see. Here. Contract and salaries. He's made $107 million in his career. Hang it up, bro. Hang it up. $107 million. Hang it up. And I didn't think, because Minnesota cut him, I didn't think that Dylan Thieneman would last past Minnesota. But he did. And we got him. And we are grateful to have the back end, have someone with his type of talent back there. I'm excited about it. I'm definitely excited about it. So I want to see him and how he looks. You know, I want to see, you know, and it's they're just throwing vanilla shit in there this weekend. You know what I mean? They're not throwing some crazy exotic blitzes and coverages. No. Here's what we're running. All right, here's where I need you to line up. Here's where I need you to be. Here's what I want from my safeties. Okay, you're just giving them the, this is what this is. This is onboarding for all my corporate people. This is onboarding. It's all it is. All right, this is onboarding. Here's the locker room. Here's where you park your car. Here's your locker. Here's the training room. Here's the lunch hall. Here's your meeting rooms. Here's the weight room. This is onboarding. Here's how we do it. All right, we're going to run around a little bit. This is how I want it done in my system. But I think we need to see some people stand out. We need to see some people stand out. Because why did you draft him? All right. Thieneman needs to move around with an air of confidence. I know you're learning this system like everybody else, but when you are a first round pick, when you are what Dylan Thieneman is, second best safety coming out in the draft, wasn't even an argument. All right, he was number 2. There's no one. They were distinct. Number 1 was the young man from Ohio State. Number 2 was Thieneman. Number 3 was a guy from I can see the logo. The three name guy. He has 3 names. Is he from Kent State? But he was definitely number 3. He wasn't number 2. Thieneman was the undisputed number 2 second best safety coming out in the draft. So to get him is a steal. It's a steal. So I need to see him because he should be mad. I just said he should have a chip on his shoulder. Like, how the hell did I last till number 25? How in the blue hell did I last to 25? I should have lasted past 15. You know how much money I lost? You know how much money I lost dropping from 15 to 25? Let's keep it a buck. Those are in the first round, those positions are slotted. There's no wiggle room. You can't negotiate for more. The only thing you can negotiate is how your money is divvied out. How much your signing bonus is going to be, and how much you're going to make your first 4 years, because you have no say. That first round is locked and loaded, and you have no wiggle room to increase your pay. None. All right, it's just a percentage. You get like 5 or 7% more than last year's number 25 pick. And that's it. All you can negotiate is your signing bonus, and then how much you make how much of the remaining money that is allotted for that slot divided over the 4 years. Your 5th year is already set. If the Bears decide to pick it up, that amount's set as well. So yeah, I'd be mad as a mother Hubbard, saying, "Damn, I went 25th, should have gone 10th, 10, 15, had a bigger signing bonus, bigger contract, bigger average annual value." So Dylan Thieneman needs to be playing with a chip on his shoulder as well this weekend, and have it carry over into when the vets come, into more OTAs. Oh, and I did do this. I saved it. I saw it earlier. It was in ChicagoBears.com. it said this was this morning. Chicago Bears today announced the signing of 4 selections from the 2026 NFL Draft. So they signed wide receiver Xavier Thomas, defensive back Malik Muhammad, linebacker Keyshawn Elliott, and defensive lineman the Vanilla Gorilla Jordan Vandenberg. This is from Larry Meyer, okay, from ChicagoBears.com. So some of the guys are already signed, sealed, and delivered. Okay, got that bonus money. Got that bonus money, baby. That bank account's looking kind of fat right now. That bank account's looking kind of fat right now for some of these mugs. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you guys. I'm happy for you. Now the work starts. They signed Cade Barnett. Additionally, the Bears have signed 13 undrafted free agents. Caden Barnett, Coleman Bennett, running back out of Kennesaw State, 5'11", 185. KZ Eziomume, defensive back out of Tulane. He's 6'1", 200. Bo Gardner, long snapper. Amari Kelly, receiver, Michigan State. Jaron Kump, offensive lineman, Utah. Wow, 6'5", 305. Jaden Loving, the one we were talking about, 6'2", 315. Miller Moss, the quarterback from Louisville, who was Caleb's backup at USC for a couple of years. Mason Murphy, O-lineman from Auburn, 6'6". Signed a place kicker, Gabriel Placencia from San Diego State. Skylar Thomas, DB from Oregon State. Squirrel White, wide receiver, short guy from Florida State, 5'9". Yeah. So King Book was, I got to see if any of them got $5 like borrow. Cornelius says, I can't wait to see how Jordan Vandenberg and Jaden Loving improve the D-line. All right, this is talking about Matt Forte. My guy Junior says, Cornelius, I just remember when the Bears would get to the 2 or 3 yard line, they would start throwing the ball because he couldn't punch it in. And Cornelius says, well, that's true, but understand why. If Forte had a better line, he would be in the Hall of Fame. Well, the first couple years of his career, yeah. But he had a good offensive line. That 2013 offensive line was pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. Was that John Tate? Let me see. Depth chart. 2013 season. Okay. At second, the 2013 offense was highly productive, ranking second in the league with 445 points. This was the offensive line. Jermon Bushrod, Matt Slauson, Roberto Garza, Kyle Long, and Jordan Mills. But no, they did not have that entire offensive line or that quality in offensive line during Matt Forte's tenure, his entire tenure here. That could be his nickname. I love it, King Booker World. I normally see the 6th and 7th and non-drafted players the Bears get as depth and possibles, but for some reason I feel Jordan Vandenberg, a.k.a. Lethal Weapon 2, is going to develop into a good player. From South Africa. Oh, that was a great one. Junior says, I believe the Bears would have made the Super Bowl if Cutler didn't break his thumb against the Chargers. Yeah, that hurt big time. That hurt. Literally and figuratively. Yeah, that hurt. But there's really nothing else to see. And I know the NFL wants to make it a production and all this, but what are you going to have? A whole bunch of guys running around learning a system in helmets and shorts. Yeah, I know you, King Booker was like, you got to earn it though, Shawn. You know me. Yeah, I know. I know. Wouldn't that be, what if I made Lethal Weapon 2 t-shirts? The Vanilla Gorilla. That'd be dope. The Vanilla Gorilla. So we're looking at, I don't want to get too crazy, you know, but there's certain things I want to see, and those are the things I want to see from rookie minicamp. There should be a distinct difference. After I see a play, I don't even have to read the back of the name. Like, okay, that's Xavier Thomas. That's Xavier. Oh, shit. That blur that just ran down the sideline, that's Xavier. Okay. I see a big, heavy-set white dude getting, beating off, rookie offensive lineman into the backfield. Okay. Cornelius says, I hear that Detroit is not even having a rookie minicamp. Really? That's odd. Wow. Wow, that's weird. That's very weird. And Plank says, or OTAs. So they're not having rookie minicamp or OTAs? That's odd. Because remember, the thing about the NFL is every year is a new team. There's no way, shape, or form that the same team returns a consecutive year in the NFL. No. Draft picks, free agents, leaving and signings. Team is never the same. And so what you want to do is you want to get your new talent on the field with your old talent, and you want them to work together for them to gain is chemistry. And the only way to gain chemistry is to play together. And I know that that's not playing together, but you're going through stuff that you need to learn, the fundamentals for this or for that particular system. So for them not to have rookie mini camps to, kind of welcome the rookies in and give them a taste of the NFL before the veterans get there, and then not to have OTAs doesn't make sense. But hey, you know what? That's not our deal. If they feel they don't need it, cool. Cool. I think they're wrong, and I think they're gonna feel it later when none of their rookies can step up and play to a level that they need to play because they are not as confident in their assignments. That's Detroit. Okay, you do you, bro. Dan Campbell, you do you. The Bears are gonna do the Bears. Listen, I want to make sure you guys telling you. So I saw this other little company. So I need your help, man. I need you guys helping promote SportsZoneChicago.com. All right. I'd really appreciate it. I need you guys to get your swag. Start getting some of your swag ready for the season. You know, we got Sports Zone Chicago hats. We got Sports Zone Chicago hoodies, T-shirts, quarter zips, FGB T-shirts, hoodies, Coaching Matters T-shirts, Cigar Fanatic T-shirts for men and women, Bears Victory Monday T-shirts, Good, Better, Best T-shirts, and hoodies. Mr. Southside himself, Michelle Walls, he already got his orange FGB hoodie. And then don't forget, if you're going to the double nickel all linen celebration for the SuperBack, my birthday party, Saturday, July 25th, 4:30 to 7:30 at the Summer of George. $55 a ticket. We don't have to go through Eventbrite. You can. I'd rather you not, so you save some money on fees. It's a 20%. It comes out to about a 20% increase from the ticket price with the taxes and the fees. So you can Zelle me the money. Just go to Zelle tag. When you go to Zelle, create Sports Zone Chicago, and it'll actually put a Zelle. It'll say phone number, email, or Zelle tag. Zelle tag Sports Zone Chicago. Go PayPal, it's ShawnSierraSports at Gmail, or you can go Venmo at Shawn-Sierra. All right, put your name and the total amount of tickets that you're buying. I know I'll be able to tell from the amount that you send, but it's just a security precaution. So John Anderson sends $110, 2 tickets. Got it? Telling you this is going to be crazy. I'm going to see this weekend if I can holler at the last DJ. If I can get that last DJ on board to do this. 1, I got to see if he's available. 2, I got to see how much he would charge me for the last hour. I may say, hey, I'll buy you and your girl a drink. You know what I mean? But man, if I can get this guy, this is going to be unfreaking believable. My man DJ Cuco, you want some Spanish and some booty, some ghetto house? Yeah, that's his thing. That'll start us off. And then my guy DY Nemesis, he's straight hip hop, like hardcore hip hop, like 90s. And then if I can get this last DJ, man, oh man, oh man. Let's hope he doesn't want to charge me too much. I got a limit. There's a ceiling, because he'd be worth $250 for the hour. I can't go that high. But anyway. Baseball fans, it's all of us. It's the last weekend of the weekend before the crosstown. A lot of shit's going to be talked next week, next Friday on the show. All right, how hot will the Cubs be? The Cubs have won 9 in a row. Can they come in on a win? I mean, they're going to come in hot. Because I don't see them all of a sudden losing the next 6 games in a row. I don't see it. I don't see them losing the next 6 or 8 games in a row. I don't. It's probably going to be 5-3, 6-2. So now you're looking at a team coming in at 15-2 with a 15-2 record in the last 17 games. Yeah, that's hot. Man, that's hot. So White Sox have to do a number. They have to stay fundamentally sound. They need to come up with key hits. Timely hitting is going to be important, and continue to play solid defense and not shoot yourselves in the foot. Do not give the Cubs extra outs. Do not do that. But we'll talk more about that next Friday. King Booker World says, when the Sox sweep basically the Cubs, they can go on a 30-game losing streak. I'm going to be insufferable. Black Diamond says, we're enemies all next week, Shawn, Rick, Booker, Mashun. You're damn right. You're damn right we are. I don't know. I might still go to one of the games. We'll see. We'll see. So I saw number 10 of the Sox lose a ball in the sun the other day for the Sox. Wasn't the same guy that had a pop-up bounce off his face. I think, no, Benintendi had a pop-up off his face. And number 10, Chase Mydroff, lost it in the sun the other day. Yeah. But exciting football season. I know it's just rookies, but that has me excited. War has been declared. It has. Hey, listen, I really want to make sure that I hammer this home. All right. Happy Mother's Day to all the women out there watching or who watch this and from YouTube. Happy Mother's Day. Okay. If your mom's still around and you're fortunate enough to have your mom still around, do something special for her, man. You only get one. And there are a lot of people whose moms have passed away. That's a tough deal for them. There's a lot of people whose moms haven't passed away but have dementia and or Alzheimer's. That's a tough deal. Okay, so be respectful, but also be grateful if your mom is still here and functioning and coherent, because there's going to come a day when she won't be. All right, let's be extra kind this week. Let me take this down. Let's be extra kind this weekend, okay? Because we know there are a lot of people who are going to be going into Sunday, into Mother's Day for the first time without their mom. All right, and that could be 20 years, 30 years, 47 years, 58 years. Doesn't matter. That first Mother's Day without moms is going to hit hard. Just remember that. All right. Share some grace with people. And yeah. Plankstar says, thank you, Shawn. Great show. Have a fantastic weekend, Bears fam. Have a fantastic weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all. Bear down. Bear down to Plankstar. King Booker said, take it from me. Cherish this time with her. Yes. Your mom's passed away. She's rested in heaven. May she rest in peace. And I know my Junior's mom has passed away for a while, and so we have people whose moms aren't here anymore. So remember that and be grateful for the time you have with them. All right, hope you have something planned, breakfast, brunch, because you don't know the night she stayed. Many of our moms stayed up crying because they couldn't afford this or they couldn't have us do that. Couldn't get us the toy we wanted, couldn't get us the jeans we wanted, couldn't get us the shoes we wanted. Junior said she's passed 28 years. That's right, because she passed right before Mondo was born. And if you are a parent, you understand how, and you may have had one of those moments as well, where you just felt just helpless because you couldn't get what it is that your child wanted. And that's a real thing. That's a real thing. Not being able to provide for your kid, is not get them the shoes they want, or you know what I mean? And I can't even imagine what that would feel like. If my son or my daughter said, Dad, can we get this? No, we can't have enough money. I don't have enough money. How crazy I would feel. A lot of times our moms did that. They sacrificed stuff for themselves for us. And as I said, there are probably many a night where they cried because they felt inadequate. They felt they weren't raising us right. They felt that they were a bad parent. Okay? So remember that. Honor them, cherish them. If they're still alive. Honor them if they're still alive, and honor them if they passed on. All right, because they do so much for us. They've done so much for us, and a lot of stuff we don't even know. All right. Well, guys, I will see you on Monday. At 12:15, Second City Sports with Lakina and Sid. Take you another 2-hour conversation of Chicago sports. And I hope you have a great, great weekend. All right, from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out here watching, to all the gentlemen, your moms, if they're still around, your wives, the mother of your children. Okay, happy Mother's Day to them as well. Okay, so from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, happy Mother's Day. But your boy is out.
Come on, place the bass.